It's the Sri Satan Hindu Union Hall in Kisumu, right? Please meet us there from 6 o'clock and let's have fun. You are all invited. Just make sure that when you come, you have a card like this. If you don't have it, get it from me because you will not be allowed in without an invitation card. All right? Let's have fun and let's celebrate Africa this week. Karibuni sana, asanteni. Sorry for that. Okay. Who am I handing over to? To Waziri. Thank you so much, Waziri Beatrice.
Thank you. To the PS, First Ladies present, all protocol observed. Good afternoon. Good afternoon once more. This is a conference that all of us, I believe, should be happy. I am Beatrice Odongo, the CCM for Sports Culture, Gender and Youth Affairs, Kisumu County. I want to take this opportunity to welcome you to Kisumu and specifically to the Women Conference. Before I say something, I want to invite my colleague, who is the CCM for Tourism, Trade, Cooperatives and Marketing, at least to say hi.
Thank you, my sister Beatrice. Good afternoon, everyone. Please wave wherever you are. Are you happy? I am very happy. I am honored to be amongst distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellencies, the spouses of the governors of the Lake Region Economic Bloc, our distinguished delegates present from across many, many countries. We don't take for granted that you are here with us. A big round of applause to wageni wetu. Wametoka mbali sana na wamefika hapa. To the people of Kisumu and the Lake Region Economic Bloc, I salute all of you. My name is Farida Salim, the County Minister in charge of Trade, Tourism, Cooperatives, Industry, and Marketing. And together with my colleague, the Minister in charge of Culture and Sports, we welcome all of you to this summit. And we are looking forward to robust conversations so that together we make this festival a memorable occasion for all of us. I'm looking forward to learning, networking. Please make as many friends as possible. Please enjoy the moment of the day. And before I hand it over, there is a colleague of mine from Bungoma County. Please step forward, Waziri, and say hi to the people. Waziri Caroline, in charge of health from Bungoma County. Please step ahead. I don't know if Waziri from Siaya is here. She was here during the official opening. I would like her to also step forward if she's here to say hi to our people. Thank you.
Thank you, Waziri. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Karo Makali, a CC member for Health, Bungoma County, and also acting in Gender, Culture, Youth and Sports. Asante, Waziri.
I'm Dr. David Wanyonyi, County Executive Committee member for Trade, Energy and Industrialization, County Government of Bungoma.
A big round of applause to our colleagues from the other counties, specifically Bungoma. Now, I will not say much except welcome you to this summit, and together, let's make it a huge success. I wish all of us fruitful deliberations as we continue. Thank you so much. Be blessed.
Thank you, Waziri. As we are talking about inclusivity, it is also important that I introduce a colleague, Caroline Agwanda, the Governor Advisor on Issues Person with Disability. Kindly come and say hi.
Thank you, Waziri. Good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be here, and I appreciate what you are doing, which is in line with the protocols ratified by the Kenyan government, especially Maputo Protocol and the CRPD. Keep up the good work, and we continue to ensure that everyone is brought on board, and also giving women a voice. I would only challenge the woman present here is to ensure that you hold a younger woman hand to move to the next step where you are, because tomorrow will not be there, but we need strong Gen Z's women to come on board. Thank you very much.
Can we clap for her? Thank you so much, Madam Caroline. Allow me also to bring the greetings of His Excellency the Governor, Professor Peter Anyang' Nyong'o, who was to join us, but he has some commitments, but he will be with us in the course of the day. We are also expecting Mama County, Her Excellency Dorothy Nyong'o, to join us anytime from now. And I want to say, even without them being here, we are here with my colleagues, and we are able to start and make the conference continue. So without saying much, I welcome you all to Kisumu. When you talk about issues gender, when you talk about economic empowerment, you cannot leave a woman behind. They normally say, and I think I'm not going to offend men, behind every successful man, there is. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. Karibuni Kisumu. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm just being reminded that I was to invite a speaker after me, who is the CEO NGAF, Mr. Roy. Kindly come forward and talk to us. Thank you.
Can we appreciate Waziri Beatrice, please? Can we appreciate her? Can we appreciate her, please? Let's have some energy in the room. Thank you so much. My name is Roy Sasakatelewa. I'm the CEO for the National Government Affirmative Action Fund. And when Beatrice and colleagues were coming up with this program, they said that as much as this is a women agenda, we need to have an affirmative action as well for men. And for the men in the room, I'll speak on their behalf today. So briefly, is just to make a remark and to welcome our chief guest, who is actually here. We are honored to have you, our chief guest, Madam P.S. Anne Wang'ombe, who has come to grace this occasion. Allow me to acknowledge the excellencies, the first ladies of the Lake Region, Karibuni Sana, my chair for the National Government Affirmative Action Fund, Madam Rachel, and all dignitaries across the African continent. Mine is just to say briefly that when you look at the Ministry of Gender and Affirmative Action Fund, the Ministry of Gender, our work as NGAF is actually to ensure that the women of this country are economically empowered. And that is the role that Madam P.S. here has assigned me. NGAF works closely hand in hand with the 47 county members of parliament, whom in Kenya we refer to as the women representatives. And I'm sure some of them are joining us as we continue. And purely, as you look at this, we look at achieving 4 key issues. We are looking at how do we ensure that the Kenyan women is empowered economically, can actually compete favorably in political spheres, and we are happy to see some of our members of county members of elected members, MPs, transiting even becoming governors. So that is why we look at both economic, political, and social. And I will not want to go say much because I'm here as a boy child. I am a he for she, and I know Waziri was saying behind every successful man, but for my case as the CEO of NGAF, in front of me, I am behind the successful ladies, and I think I'm very proud to be led by powerful ladies of this country. So allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome one of the most powerful, humble, very humble PSS we have in this country. She has transformed our ministry. She has transformed our state department. When we were talking about planning this event, She had other engagements, but she said, Roy, when it comes to women agenda, I must show up. Can we put our hands together and welcome PS Anne Wangombi, who is our chief guest, to give us our key remarks. Welcome, Madam PS, and we are honored and privileged to have you. Karibu sana, Madam PS.
Thank you. Empowered women empower the world. Let's have this reminder all the time that when we uplift others, we all rise. Your Excellencies, First Ladies, Chief Executives present, all distinguished guests, partners, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. When I got there, the first question I asked him was there a criteria of selecting only the beautiful women? You know, because I'm seeing a lot of beauty. Well, I'm also seeing handsome men, but these women are so beautiful, women with beauty with brains, or brains with beauty. How do you put it? Beauty with brains. Anyway, on a right note. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor that I stand before you today for this summit here in Kisumu. I'm told that you have already been informed that Kisumu is a very important city to this nation. It's actually the third largest city, and it borders the largest lake in Africa and the second largest freshwater lake in the world. It is a very important economic hub, and Kisumu happens to be the center or the capital of this region. The summit for this year is Empowering African Women, Transforming Economies and Societies. And it resonates our mission to foster an environment where every woman can thrive and contribute meaningfully to her community and other areas. This summit, therefore, represents an opportunity for women leaders, entrepreneurs, change makers from across our beautiful continent to unite, share experiences, and collaborate on initiatives that empower African women. Ladies and gentlemen, as we reflect on our journey, we must recognize the historical significance of Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, which laid the essential groundwork for advancing women's rights and gender equality on a global scale. The landmark document, adopted in the year 1995, serves as a guiding framework that continues to inspire our efforts today. In Kenya, the Ministry for Gender, Culture, the Arts, and Heritage stands as our platform for action, facilitating initiatives that empower women and promote equality. The platforms within the State Department for Gender and Affirmative Action, such as Women Enterprise Fund. Do you have representatives from Women Enterprise Fund? Where I want to recognize you. Yes, thank you so much, Timothy. Thank you so much, Ruth. We also have the National Government Affirmative Action Fund. Do you have representatives from GAF? Yes, thank you so much. Asanteni sana. And the Anti-FGM Board. I'm not sure that we have someone from Anti-FGM Board. That is Anti-Female Genital Mutilation Board. So further amplify this commitment, providing the necessary resources and support to address the challenges that are faced by women. So, as we gather here today, we must celebrate the remarkable strides we have made in advancing women's rights and representation. Across Africa, we have witnessed the rise of women in leadership positions. Trailblazers like Ellen Johnson, that is the first female president of Liberia, Amina Fakim, the former president of Mauritius, and Samia Suluhu, the current president of Tanzania, and of course our G7 governors, not forgetting that our Chief Justice is a woman, as well as our nominated Attorney General. These leaders, among many others, serve as an inspiring examples of what is possible when women are given an opportunity to lead. However, we must also acknowledge the challenges and barriers that still hinder our progress towards true equality. My call in this summit is that we engage in open dialogues to identify practical strategies that can dismantle these barriers. Together, we can explore pathways for enhancing women's participation in leadership, expanding access to entrepreneurship, and promoting sustainable social development. Ladies and gentlemen, I urge each of you to embrace this summit as a platform for shared learning and inspiration. Let us not only exchange ideas, but also commit to taking actionable steps that will lead to tangible outcomes. Your experiences and insights are priceless. Each story contributes to a larger narrative of resilience and empowerment. Thank you all. I look forward to engaging in fruitful discussions and witnessing the impactful initiatives that will emerge from this gathering. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now we come to the next session where we are going to have a panel discussion. Now, gender-based violence impacts growth of economies because it creates barriers on realizing the full economic potential of women, and it also limits their access to resources. The next session is going to focus on gender-based violence, and we are going to have a panel, but before that, we shall have some remarks from three of the key persons that are in the room. And first of all, I want to make an introduction. I would want to recognize the presence of Betty Murungi, the First Lady of Siaya County. Thank you so much. I would want to recognize the presence of Emily Nyaribo, the First Lady of Nyamira County, and also the chairperson of the First Ladies Commission. And now I want to give her that opportunity to bring to the podium the rest of the group that is going to take part in the panel discussion, as well as the next activities that we are going to have on gender-based violence. Welcome. Let's give her a round of applause. Karibu sana.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Madam PS, distinguished guests, I'm happy to be here today as a woman in this summit, so that we may be able to look for a way to take care of ourselves and our generations. My name is Emily Nyaribo from Nyamira County and the chair of the First Spouses of the Lake Region Economic Bloc. And Just to give you a preview of what we do as first spouses. Number one, we are not elected. Number two, we are not funded. Number three, we support our husbands to deliver on issues within the community, more especially issues that touch on the vulnerable in our communities. So in that respect, we stand proudly here for the achievements that we have had in our counties, even when none of you knows about them, but the women and the children in the communities know about them. In this county, or in this region around the Lake region, we have 14 counties, and all of us, 13 women and 1 male, work together to do activities that support women depending on the kind of challenges that they have. And we do social activities around gender-based violence, for one, around teen pregnancies, issues around food and nutrition, issues around health, issues around, what else do we do? Very many things. So maybe let me look. Reproductive health, and issues around the economy of the women. So far, I'll just try and highlight what we have achieved, more especially in the space of health and cancer screening. In this region, cervical cancer is prevalent. So is the issue of HIV and AIDS. Those two are correlated. So we came together as the women of this region and coined a word woman, word of mouth advocacy network. Can all of us say that? Word of mouth? Hey, come on, are we asleep? Word of mouth? Advocacy network. And we used our mouths to tell every woman to go for her cervical cancer screening. And we achieved quite a bit. We actually surpassed the target for our counties. Each one of our counties was above 50% of what was expected of them. That was only the testing. Now, if we can do that without funding, what do you think can happen when we have funding? I don't want to go there. In terms of nutrition, we support the women to try and give their children the best food that they can at early childhood, because we are told nurturing care takes care of the nutrition of the mother when she's expectant and the child before 1,000 years, 1,000 days. Those are 0 to 3 years. That is one of the things that we have embarked in the Lake region, and we are doing quite well. Following what Siaya County did, it has a model that we have all picked up, and I hope it can be picked up within the whole country. Another thing that we have done and we have succeeded in is trying to get the girl child back to school after giving birth. Teen pregnancies within our counties is quite high, about 15%. Some counties like Migori have up to 22%. The thing that we do as women, as first ladies, is to try and get those girls back to school, and we do that with the support of the partners. Not only us, but all the other first ladies within the country. Together with that, we also talk about FGM within our counties. I know that parts of the Lake region don't have that, but for Kisii, Nyamira, and Migori, FGM is still alive. And for Kisii and Nyamira, it is now medicalized, which means you can't see it, you can't hear about it, but it is happening. So it is a difficult thing that we are dealing with, but I hope that we can get there. So I will leave it at that so that I may allow our national chair, the chair of the First Ladies Association, to come and take us through what else we do as the county First Ladies of this country. If there are any investors in here, kindly support the work that we do as women. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our PS, representatives of all the organizations that are here today, representatives of the Kisumu County government, my sisters, county first ladies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. I'm honored and humbled to stand here before you as the chair of the County First Ladies Association. My name is Alamitu Jatani. I'm the spouse to the governor of Marsabit County. Greetings from Marsabit, which is the farthest county to the north. Once you're in Marsabit, you can step to Ethiopia very easily. The name says County First Ladies Association, but is an association that comprises of all spouses of elected governors in Kenya. Maybe you may wonder why the name Ladies First. In 2013, during devolution, all the elected governors were male, and the spouses came together to have an association that needed to guide them on what they thought they could do. During the formative stage at that time, their vision was to come together, network, socialize. And when we came in in 2017, there were male elected to the association, but the name still remained. And right now, we have moved from the association of female only. Now we have 7 members because we have 7 female governors, which is a great achievement for us. And we look forward to parity. In 2027, inshallah, we will have more female governors. I want to read a quote here by Meghan Markle. She says, when talking about girls' empowerment and women as well, you will often hear people saying, you are helping them find their voices. I fundamentally disagree with that. Women don't need to find their voice. They need to feel empowered to use it, and people need to be encouraged to listen. So most of the time, we speak like the women don't know what they're speaking about. They only lack forums, and people like us are given those opportunities to stand and amplify what they stand for. As spouses of elected governors, we walked the journey with our spouses during elections. We gave promises to the women and the youth, promises that were expected to be met, promises that we shall be able to help them move from one position to another. And as an organization, we started thinking about what is it that really we want to do for our women, youth, and persons living with disabilities. We cannot talk about building roads, hospitals, or even other things, but we can empower them. By first advocacy, we advocate for those things in the community that we think once we put our voices into it, it can make a major impact. Just as it has been elaborated by the chair of the El region, the issue of cervical cancer has been a very challenging issue in the country. We want women to go for cervical cancer screening. We want girls to take up the HPV vaccine. But there is myths and misconceptions about all these things. It's difficult for women to go. But when we lead by example, by vaccinating our own girls and putting them out there and saying, see, this is my daughter, she has taken the HPV vaccine. It is not the family planning you're talking about. It is one that is safe. That way they can see if the governor's daughter has gone through this, then I can also do that. And that is the word of mouth advocacy we are speaking about, so that this thing can be done. When a woman sees us going into the vans in the clinics, taking our own screening, including even publicly taking our HIV tests, taking our blood pressures, they are encouraged to do that. That is advocacy. We network, and that is why we are here today. We want to have partnerships who will help us advocate or do those small, small things we are talking about. We want women groups put together so that we can empower them through networking. We are not in the constitution. We are not funded, but we have our voice. We go into an office or an organization, and anyone in this office can say, we have a group working with disabilities. They work with, for example, keeping, livestock. They are doing chicken farming. They are doing vegetable gardens. How do you come in as a partner to help this group to be able to achieve what they are doing? Because at the end of the day, it's not about what you're giving, the training you give them, the equipments you give them. That way, we are networking, then empowering them. We also do direct. For example, there are organizations which would want to empower the girl child. They would want us to go and talk about, distribution of sanitary towels, empowerment, education. So through them, we are able to go to school and directly impact on these girls. That is the role of the County First Ladies Association. The call is for the people in the house. If there are any programs that target youth, women, and persons living with disabilities, you can partner with us. We have a secretariat that is based in Nairobi, which coordinates our work, and we are able to work through them. As I speak to the young women in the house, the young ladies, entrepreneurs, you don't need someone to tell you to do it. You will have to fail so many times in order to reach that you are looking for. You are not judged by how many times you have failed. You're judged by that one single time you make it. We are told the person who made the first bulb, nimesahau jina, he tried so many times, but eventually we speak about him giving us the electric bulb, but nobody speaks about the many times he failed to be there. KFC, the franchise, the person who started KFC, I think he was almost reaching his retirement age when he first, got his KFC brand and the spicing and everything. Today, it is one of the celebrated brands that are there. Nobody speaks about the many times he went through. We always see the success, but we don't want to see the number of times we have failed. You need to burn the midnight oil. It is not easy out here. It's not easy to get funding, but the other things that I would want us to see is how, because women have many challenges in the African culture. We have challenges in ownership of land, in ownership of property. How do you even secure a bank loan? How do you even, come and say that I can be able to do this and that? Yesterday, we had very bright entrepreneurs who pitched their ideas. They had ideas that were really wow. But in my heart, I said, if today they went in any of the commercial banks right now, the security they will be asked for, the financial statements they will be asked for, the experiences they'll be asked for, will make them shy away and go. So if there are any microfinance enterprises, including NGAF, I know NGAF, you work with our women representatives, but there are these, I don't know whether you can work with the girls also directly, where you could have like the ladies in different counties pitching their ideas and coming together, and maybe you pick someone you can be able to fund. And not just fund with 50,000, 100,000 shillings. I think now we need to think outside the box and give them big, so that they can move from the 10,000 merry-go-rounds they're speaking to bigger things they're doing. Our girls are now empowered. With the digital world, the Gen Zs have shown us that this space is so easy to maneuver. They can work from the comfort of their homes. Most of them don't want to do the 8 to 5 job. They want to go, if it means transnighting and doing and achieving and sleeping and doing it even at the comfort of their bedrooms, they are able to do it. How do we even make internet services free, affordable, or even better, faster, so that they can be able to achieve all these things? The government of Kenya has so much that they provide for women. There are different funding models that are used by women. But unfortunately, the information that is at the grassroots level, sometimes, you borrow, like the former Women Enterprise Fund, you borrow, but you forget you are supposed to pay back because nobody took you through or you decided to ignore because you are just thinking ni mali ya serikali, ni mali ya serikali, so you don't need to return it. So you give out the monies, and by the time you are coming to take it back, there's a problem. Then these other micro enterprises who come in with very high interest rates. I don't want to mention, but I know one that has really picked even items from the houses. The TVs, the fridges have gone because they were more convincing than yourselves. They are able to convince the mama mboga to pick the money, but the interest rates were so high, and because the mama cannot be able to service the loan as it is, you end up losing everything. The challenge is for many officers to be on the ground and maybe inform so that this can be done. What I would want to ask as I finish is that all of us together, we can be able to make a difference to someone who is below us. There's always somebody above me, and I believe in that person who I look up to, who I think is my mentor, I look up to, especially those leaders who have gone before us. You look up to them, and this is what you want to be. As you look up to this person to hold on, let's also put the other hand behind and then pull the other person along so that with that chain, we can walk faster, not only that person excelling. And inshallah, as women, as youth, as persons living with disabilities, the narrative now is we do not walk behind the successful men, we walk beside the successful men. Thank you very much, and have a good afternoon.
Thank you so much. That was Her Excellency Halamitu Jatani from Marsabit County. And now I would want to welcome this panel up front. And I'm going to start First Lady of Migori County. Let's give her a round of applause. Next, First Lady of Bomet County will follow. And let's take our seats at the front. Followed by Halamitu Jatani herself to the podium. Emily Nyaribo. And lastly, Betty Murungi. This panel is going to discuss the effects of gender-based violence on economic empowerment and how it is impacting the access of women to the resources that they need. And because we've had, let's allow all of them to come and settle. A round of applause as they take the stage. So, let's do this. Because we have two of our panelists who have not had the opportunity to introduce themselves and just give one key remark, I'm going to give the first 10 minutes to the two of them, and then we shall just have one question on the experiences and the success stories that we've had from the various counties. So I will start with, where's the microphone? So she'll make a quick introduction and just a very key remark within the first 5 minutes so that you have an opportunity to also say something within your county before we go into the big question. Welcome.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Saline Barchok, County First Lady, Bomet County, and I'm glad to be here, being one of the guests attending Festac, being my first time. So I'm grateful, and I just want to say that as I'm coming from Bomet, we have many things that we are doing there, but majorly on my side, I am a champion of nutrition, and to get that nutrition, women need empowerment. So we cannot eat well or feed our children well without empowerment. So my major path is that I go round to the groups of women, empowering them with knowledge and giving them assorted vegetable seeds. And thereafter, when a woman is empowered, the empowerment will help that woman to reduce the gender-based violence. Because when you are empowered, no one should or will touch you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I will ride on the established protocol. My name is Agnes Ochilo from Migori County. Migori is the farthest county within the Lake Region Economic Bloc. Actually, we border Tanzania to the south. So please receive greetings from Migori and from the governor, Dr. Ochilo Ayako in particular. This is my first time as a first lady. And what I realized that when you are a first lady, the expectations are too many. My colleague already told you that we are not elected, we are not funded, our offices are not constitutional, and neither are we employees of the county governments. So that's why we concentrate on advocacy and awareness. As we sit here, most of us, we do several things. We touch little bits of every other area. But personally, I have chosen to major on two areas. That is health, which specifically I deal with the sickle cell disease. The reason why I picked on sickle cell disease is because sickle cell affects children between 0 to any age that they can live up to. And I noted that the children die young. They die before their 5th birthday. That means by the time you're 5 years, you don't have a voice. You don't have anybody to speak on your behalf. And therefore, in my county, the disease has been taken as a children's disease. But we know with proper management, these children can live and thrive up to their full potential. So I have chosen to use my voice and create awareness. I'm lucky I've been able to set up a clinic in one of the sub-counties. And a disease that was originally considered to be witchcraft or related to evil doings from the mother or the father is now being realized to be just a disease like any other disease. My hope and my wish is that since sickle cell is endemic in my county, is that we have the necessary diagnostic machines and the management and the drugs and the caregivers to be able to assist us so that before somebody gets married, they know that if they are a carrier, probability of getting a sick child is very high, so they are able to prepare in advance, and at birth, then the baby can be taken care of. Another area where I'm doing work on is the widows. We realize that Migori County, if you look through the HIV statistics, we have high levels of HIV, so that means we have many widows. Secondly, we have cross-border conflicts. We border the Rift Valley, these people, they beat us, they kill our men. And we end up getting many widows. We also have accidents. We do a lot of mining, so we also still lose a lot of men in the mines. When the mines collapse, we end up losing men, and then these women are left with the children. They have to fend for themselves. They have to do everything. So we have taken up a project to ensure, first and foremost, we speak to them. We counsel them because most of them are very bitter, very, very bitter about the deaths of their husband because some of them were not due to natural factors. So we counsel them, and we were lucky we got assistance from the Mama Doskas Regathi Foundation. We have been able to identify women groups with whom we have economically assisted to set up fish farms. We have done chicken keeping. We have also done goat rearing. And we are hoping that the companies or the organizations who are here who have CSR activities, please assist us to assist these people, because these are people who are deep in the village, and even the possibility of them coming to such conferences is almost nil. So if there are any organizations to that effect, please assist us, assist women from the real machinani, from the lowest level of our economies. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was the First Lady of Migori County. And now I would like to call in on Betty Murungi from a gender-based violence champion perspective, because we've listened to a lot of experiences already and some of the success stories that they have already given us on some of the jobs that they have done. But I just want to call on you to give us, on a high level, what is the interlink between gender-based violence and economic empowerment? It is.
Is it working?
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Of course, I have to talk about Siaya. Even as I address the issues around the intersectionalities on the issues that have been raised, I'll take half a minute to tell you about Siaya County. Siaya County has pioneered the Smart Start initiative, which is an initiative that employs the nurturing care for early childhood development in focusing its attention on the first 1,000 days of a child's life. Because we have been told by scientists and doctors like my friend Ambassador Joe here, that those first 1,000 days are the most important days in a child's life. And so therefore the approach that we use in implementing the Smart Start Siaya initiative is to ensure that it is broad-based, it is multi-sectoral, and it is a county-led program where you have all the departments of the county contributing to ensure the success of that initiative, so that we give our kids a great start. This initiative was implemented during the term of the past governor sometime in 2018, and the current administration took it over